Good day, it's Constantine. Today I am recording a quartet, Jazz Quartet, with Martin Kern, and I just want to walk you through the process. This is the second time we're trying this one, and the first one we had the sax player and the bass player in the same room, and I thought that with a bit of acoustic treatment, and because they occupy such different frequency ranges, we could get away with it. But there was too much spill in the bass mic. So for this one, everyone is in a different room. So we have a sax player, bass player, piano and drums. Let me walk you through what we've done. So in the control room, I have the sax player, and we somewhat treated the room so we can have the bass player in here, which is quite right, sounds quite nice. And we have two microphones. Well, he's in love with the UD7, so we're using that, and I'm going to use the C4-on-4. But what makes it sound really nice is the preamp. So what I'm using for the C4-on-4 is the audience, and I'm putting some distortion on it, which sounds really nice, really sweet. Same thing with the bass. I found that with double basses, saxes and overheads, this distortion sounds really nice. The rest of the drums are here as well, and on the earthworks I have my piano and my sax for the UD7. This is this is the most transparent one I have ever used. The UD7 is a bit bright for my taste, but it's there in case we want to use it. So the sax player is in there. Piano player is in here, which doesn't matter where we put him because it's a DI. The drums, for this one, the kick, I had it in cardioid, and yeah, it wasn't really working, so I switched to hypercardioid and went a bit closer to get advantage of that proximity effect, and that sounds really nice now. This is the second time I'm using the DPA mics, and I'm really happy with this. And the first one I used for overheads was spaced pair, but that sound had too much of a spread. It wasn't good for a jazz recording, so I switched to an ORTF, and that just sounds great now. I might have to go a bit lower than that because I'm getting too much of the room, a bit widespread as well at the moment, but I'll change that. And we have the bass player in this room here with a lovely instrument. I'm using the Neumann U87 for this one as well, just to make it somewhat brighter to come out in the mix. And I'm using these panels here because there are some nasty reflections from the glass and I want to avoid that. And we're always making sure that they have visual contact with each other. So that's it. Let's have a listen and see how they sound. Let's have a look at what we have recorded in Logic now. And the reason is because I want you to see how easy your mixing life will be once you make sure that the recording session is well planned. Well, as I mentioned in the video, the initial session did not go as planned, and that was actually the second session. But that's the point, you learn a lesson and next time you plan better. So, learn from my mistakes. Now for this one, I did not have the sax and the bass in the same room together. Now this is exactly as it was recorded, the raw recording. There is absolutely nothing on the instruments. And you know what? For the first listen, I'm going to leave it as is, so that you hear exactly what was recorded. So everything at unity, no level set, no panning, and dry sax sound. Now what I want to listen at is Clifton Swing, because it's my personal favorite from the session, and since the whole track is a bit long, let's go to the parts that I really like. Get the idea. Now as you can see, we have no effects, no panning, everything is on unity, and yet it sounds good because we took the time to record it properly. So take the time to record as good as you can and try to rely as little as fixing stuff in post. And something we need to mention, because this channel is transparent, you need good musicians. I'm sorry, but the recording session would be a disaster if the musicians are not good. But if you have that, and you take the time to record them properly, then 50% of the sound is there. Now, enough talk, let's see what we have. Now, as you can see, actually, let's go to the beginning for this one. I am extremely conservative with the input level. I have tons of headroom and my master is at almost -10 dB. So I am recording at an average level of -26 decibels with my peaks going roughly at around -12 dB. So it's not the 70s, it's not tape. There is no loud noise floor, so make your life easier and give yourself headroom. Now let's have a look at the instruments. Let's start with the saxophone. As you can see, we have two recordings, one with the C4 and one with the U87. Of course, it's a bit loud now and very, very dry. I will need to add some reverb, but that's not for now. Let's find a phrase and start comparing these two. Let's see what we've got here. This one looks like a long note. Yeah, that will do nicely. I actually think I'll have to level match them a bit. Yeah. Okay, now that they're roughly the same level, let's have a look in the mix first with the U87. And the C4. Let's have a look. Let's have a listen in solo as well. Yeah. As you can hear, the C4 is a bit darker, but the U87 is a bit brighter. So which one is better? None. It's a personal thing. It's a personal preference. Both fit the track nicely. For this one, I would probably go for the U87. And the U87 is a 2200 quid mic, and the C4 is a 600 quid mic. So do you hear, what's that, 1600 pounds difference between them? No. So don't worry about the mic too much. You can have amazing results with budget mics as well. But you have to make sure that the recording environment is good and so on. But the mic is not the most important thing. Okay, next, the piano we will not look at because it was a DI. Let's have a look at the bass and let's go to the solo part, which is probably here. For my taste, it lacks just a bit of body, but that's a good sound and I can definitely work with that. Now lastly, let's have a look at the drums. Let's go here. And let's start with the overheads. So the initial miking technique was A-B, which I have right here. But it was quite, the spread was too much especially for this kind of music. Let's have a listen, and if you can focus on the right symbol, you can see how much the spread is and compare it between the ORTF and spaced pair. As you can hear, it comes a bit closer with the ORTF. It's more intimate, which I think is better for this kind of music. But it's still a bit high for my taste. And after that track, I actually went in and took the overheads down a bit. But this track was recorded like that. And that's fine because that's a sound I can definitely work with. But you know, the less you have to worry about in mix, the better it is. Now, by the way, shameless promotion time. If you want to have a look at a lot of drum overhead techniques on various heights, I have a video specifically on drum overheads. And what's next? Well, normally I would put a sample delay to match everything up, but let's not do that now. In any case, that's actually it. I want you to see how easy you can make your mixing live if you take the time to record it properly. I will be making a video on mixing this track, so you can see that process as well. In the meantime, I will leave you with a small clip of what was happening in the control room while we were recording this video. Thank you for watching.